This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video I'm going to analyze the Gazelle Stakes at Aqueduct on Saturday, April 5th. And this is a Kentucky Oaks 2025 points race, and through 29 races on my Road to the Oaks video series, my top choices have 13 wins, 4 runner-up finishes, and 4 show finishes. A couple of my top choices have scratched, so I'm 13 for 27 on the Road to the Oaks, and I went 2 for 2 on my Road to the Oaks videos last weekend. I have 3 Oaks preps scheduled for this week, the Gazelle in this video. I'm also going to be doing the Ashland at Keeneland and the Santa Anita Oaks, so stay tuned for those later in the week. And in addition to my Santa Anita full cards that I offer each day, I'm going to be offering a full card for Bluegrass Stakes Day at Keeneland on Saturday, April 5th. And on April 5th, it is also Santa Anita Derby Day. So you can purchase my full cards individually, or you can get the Keeneland and Santa Anita cards together on April 5th as part of my weekly Saturday special for $16. And I will include bonus stakes races at Aqueduct as part of that Santa Anita full card. So go to the runawayhorse.com on my shop page to pre-purchase those cards now, and I will email them out when analysis is complete later in the week, and I send out my full cards 1 to 2 days before race day. And I recently debuted a new product at the Runaway Horse, my Kentucky Derby prep race package, and if you get that package, you will receive my analysis and wagering strategies for all of the remaining Kentucky Derby points races, my weekly Derby reports, and my Kentucky Derby Day full card at Churchill on the first Saturday in May. And I also will be offering a Kentucky Oaks Day full card later this spring, along with my annual Triple Crown Series full cards. So go to the runawayhorse.com on my shop page if you're interested in any of my products. And the early weather forecast for April 5th at Aqueduct calls for a 35% chance of light rain, high temperature of 52. Now we're going to meet the field for the Gazelle, and I'll give out my contenders from last to first. 9th race, Grade 3 Gazelle Stakes, 3-year-old fillies, 1 mile and 1/8 on the main track. 4:34 Eastern Time is the scheduled post time, and we have a field of 8. Number 1 is Late Night Call with Tyler Connor aboard. Number 2 is Ballerina Doro, the likely favorite in here. Dylan Davis is going to ride for trainer Chad Brown. Number 3 is Vanilla Sundae, Manny Franco and Todd Pletcher, a likely pace factor in this race. Number 4, early on, Javier Castellano, Safi Joseph Jr. is the trainer. Number 5 is Deloraine with Mike Smith aboard, Owen Hardy's the trainer. Number 6, Diriyah. This one is trained by Rick Dutrow and ridden by Jose Lezcano. Number 7, Pure Beauty for trainer Shug McGahee. And then number 8, Liam in the Dust. Joel Rosario is going to ride that one, and maybe she'll try to get involved in the pace from that outside post. And now we'll go last to first in this Gazelle, the horse that I picked to finish 8th and last, the 6, Diriyah. And this one did run well in her first 2 maiden special weight starts. They were off the turf route races at Horseshoe, Indianapolis, so she did break her maiden second time out. And then she added blinkers. She ran in a stakes race at Parks, coming off of a layoff on March 4th. Didn't run well there. So she was supplemented to this race, but she's going to definitely need to get faster in a hurry. The horse that I picked to finish 7th in here is the 1, Late Night Call. And she seems to be on the improve, but she's going to be facing better company in here. Now she did stretch out, she set the pace, and she held 2nd at Parks. That was on January 28th. That was a good effort over a route of ground. And then she made the lead, and she broke her maiden by 3 1/4 lengths at Laurel Park last time out. So I think she is going to impact the pace from the inside post, but I doubt that she'll be around at the end. The horse that I picked to finish 6th in here is the 8, Liam in the Dust, and she did have some success in stakes races last year. She was 2nd in the Grade 3 Pocahontas. She was 3rd in the Grade 2 Demoiselle Stakes. But she wasn't anywhere in the Alcibiades. That was a Grade 1. And then she flopped as the favorite in the Busher Stakes last time out at Aqueduct. So she does need a form reversal in here in her 2nd start of the year. I did like her last time. She didn't run well, and I don't know what to make of her in this spot. The horse that I picked to finish 5th is the 5, Deloraine, and this one can run on anything. She broke her maiden on all-weather ground, and her other victory was in a turf route, and she can run well on dirt as well. She was 3rd in a maiden special weight race on the main track, and 3rd in the Suncoast Stakes on dirt. That was a Kentucky Oaks points race. And she did finish 3rd in the Grade 3 Florida Oaks on turf in her last start. So Mike Smith is going to ride for trainer Owen Hardy. This is a Godolphin filly, and I think that she is in the mix for a minor award, but I don't know that she can win this race. The horse that I picked to finish 4th is the 3, Vanilla Sundae. and she is a threat to wire the field in here if she runs like she did last time. But in her debut, she was beaten 15 lengths. That was a sprint race. That was in the mud at Saratoga last summer. And then she caught a wet track again, second time out in the slop, a 1 mile race. She did show some early speed, but then she faded after that. And then she added Lasix last time, and she really turned things around. She got to run on a fast track for the first time. That was at Aqueduct, February 27th. That was a 1 mile, 1 turn race, and she made the lead, and she just kept pulling away from there, and she broke her maiden by 15 lengths. Manny Franco rode. He's going to ride back. This is a gun runner filly for trainer Todd Pletcher. She should be forwardly placed, and she's going to have to run faster against better company. The horse that I picked to finish third is the 4 Early On, and this filly added Lasix, and she stretched out in distance. She stalked slow fractions, and she broke her maiden by more than 5 lengths in a maiden special weight dirt route at Gulfstream on February 5th. And then she shipped to Colonial Downs for the Virginia Oaks, and she rallied from off the pace that day, and she missed by a half length. Now, that was a 1-turn race at 1 mile and a 16th, and the pace wasn't quick, so she did run well there. And then she was entered in the Gulfstream Park Oaks on March 29th, but that was just 2 weeks after the Virginia Oaks. They ended up scratching out of that race. They picked this spot instead, and this race does give her an extra week between starts, so now she's had 3 weeks between starts. She should be getting involved from off the pace under her new rider, Javier Castellano. The horse that I picked to finish second is the 7 Pure Beauty, and she is getting better for trainer Shug McGahee. Now, she wasn't anywhere in her 7 furlong debut at Saratoga last summer, but she met some decent rivals that day. Quick Kick won that one. She's a stakes placed horse. Snow White, she came back and finished second in the stakes race in her next start. And then next out, Grade 1 Frisette winner Scottish Lassie was third in that race. So she faced decent horses in that debut, and then she resurfaced second time out with Lasix and blinkers. That was a 1 mile race at Gulfstream Park on January 12th, and she was able to run a decent race that day. And then she rallied to finish third after breaking her maiden on January 12th. Behind Anna's Promise and Justin Queso in a dirt route at Gulfstream on March 6th. And Anna's Promise, who won that race, did return to finish second in the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Oaks on March 29th. The Pure Beauty, speed figures are on the rise. I think she might like this added distance, and I can see her rallying from off the pace and at least hitting the board in here. My top choice in here is the 2 Ballerina Doro. And she's been part of my top 5 Kentucky Oaks contenders since I started my list last year. And she broke her maiden in a turf route at Kentucky Downs last year. And then she was up the track in her next start in the Grade 2 Jessamine Stakes on turf. And then she added blinkers. She moved over to the main track, and she was last early from post 10 in a race that did not have a fast pace. But she was advancing wide from off the pace, and she made a nice run, and she finished a length behind the front-running winner that day, Muhimma, and that was the Grade 2 Demoiselle at 1 mile and an 1/8 at Aqueduct in December. I liked that effort there. There wasn't a lot of pace. Muhimma was just out there controlling things on the front end, and Ballerina Doro adding blinkers, moving over to dirt, breaking from the outside post, rallied to finish second by a length, and were more than 6 lengths clear of the show finisher that day. And the show finisher was Liam in the Dust, and that horse is in this race as well. So then after that, she ended up getting sick. She missed her first intended start this year, and that was the Grade 2 Rachel Alexander Stakes at the Fairgrounds on February 15th. But they never shipped her out of Florida. She got sick before they shipped her, so she was able to recover quickly, and then they ran her in the Grade 2 Devona Dale, a 1-turn mile on March 1st at Gulfstream. And that race, that was just a prep race for this. They just needed to get a race into her to get her back around 2 turns, and she stalked slow fractions that day. And she ended up finishing third, missing second by a nose. So that was a good effort. And for her trainer, Chad Brown, he loved the way that she was breezing ahead of the Rachel Alexandra. He really thought she had a good shot in that race. But then she got sick, and they had to reroute her to that Devona Dale. And he was just happy to get a race into her and get that Devona Dale behind her. And now she can get back around 2 turns in here. And I think this looks like a great spot for her to pick up her first graded victory. And I think that she wants every bit of this 1 mile and an 1/8 trip. And she's also going to reconnect with her Demoiselle rider, Dylan Davis. So my strong top choice in here, she'll probably be the favorite, the 2 Ballerina Doro. I expect her to do well here, qualify for the Kentucky Oaks, and then maybe she'll be able to run a quality race there as well. But she's got to get this one out of the way first. She's got to get enough points to get into the Oaks, and we'll see if she can do that in this Gazelle Stakes. So number 2, Ballerina Doro, my top choice in the Gazelle. And if you want a free pick each day, go over to the runawayhorse.com and click on the Better Bets blog tab at the top of my homepage to get a free pick from around the country each day. And like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. I post these horse racing videos on my channel each week. Very busy this week, a lot of Oaks and Derby preps, so keep checking out my channel for all of those. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.